Hello, welcome back to another episode over here at the Dana Lee Project, where we're talking about, I don't know what we're going to talk about today, Mandy, because I don't know if it's another question or it's a topic or I have no idea, but it's definitely something woman related because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Well, woman, lifestyle, relationship, career, anything.
All those awesome things.
Yep, at this stage of the game. So what's going on? What do you got on your mind?
All right, ready? Yesterday, my husband said a really naughty word, and I was like, oh, I think that me and Dana should talk about it. Ready? Ready for the naughty word?
Ready.
Self-control.
Self-control.
Yeah, he's so funny because here's the thing. I've got this cute little crafty Reese. Well, it's a little thing that we got at a craft show, and it's a little candy dispenser. And in the fall, I put Reese's Pieces in it because they're fall colors. Mm-hmm. And it disappears within days. Okay. I like walk by and I see it go. And it's only me and him living in this house right now. So I know small Reese's. It ain't me.
No blaming it on the kids anymore.
No blaming it on the kids. Yes.
The dogs, maybe, but
yeah, maybe.
They'll be sick.
Yeah. So it's so funny. I was like, oh, it's empty. And I filled it up. And I was like, oh, babe, I got more Reese's Pieces for the dispenser. And he walked by it and I go, you're not going to have any? And he goes, it's called self-control, Mandy. And I said, oh my God, don't even start with the self-control crap. So I was like, oh, I got to write that down. I want to talk about self-control with Dana. That's a good one.
Okay. I also think it's really cute how you say Reese's Pieces. What'd you say?
Reese's Pieces.
Reese's. You're so cute. Reese's Pieces.
Oh, Reese's Pieces. But there's no I in it. It's Reese's Pieces.
No, there's no I in Reese's.
Reese's Pieces. Pieces is true. Pieces is right.
The Pieces is right. Nailed it. Got that.
I'm like Reese's Pieces. I always say it that way.
Reese's Pieces. Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Talk about self-control. I guess I gotta go.
Yeah, let's talk about self-control.
Okay. Well, I think the self-control thing is very much tied up in willpower. But as you know, when you we've worked on giving ourselves the permission to have whatever we want, whenever we want. And although that may seem to someone who hasn't done the work to really work through all the elements of what that really means, it does not mean going just hog wild on all the things. It actually becomes much more fine-tuned and discerning about what really feels good to us, and eat the Reese's Pieces and not make it mean anything.
Yeah.
So it's I just have a few and then okay, I'm good. I don't need any more. But because we've given ourselves permission that you can really have it, not just because it's the fall and Halloween's coming up and that candy is out because it's fall colors, it is, I do like that. Coordinating with the decor, food with the decor. But yeah, I think it is interesting how actually that could be a topic too, just these cheat days and these phrases that people will use that it seems totally it's normally part of the lexicon, but when you're on this other side of really having a healed relationship with food, I don't even use the term self-control.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's a naughty word. What are you saying self-control for? I said, but I got these out for you, babe. He's like, yeah, but and I know he doesn't actually give a crap about self-control, but at that moment he was just not thinking about it, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's not that I was I'm trying not to use the word self-control.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't pertain to my life anymore. It's not how I operate. I don't need
Yeah.
self-control.
It's a trick. I
It
think
is a,
that that word can trick me. And I can say for years and years and years and years, it almost puts you in the fault. It puts me in the fault before I even start
Mhm.
because it's like, just have self control, just have self control, and don't eat the brownie. 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 And then you say it enough times that I'm like, I'm obsessing,
Mhm.
you know? So it's like, it's telling me, like, it's giving me this, if
Mhm.
I don't do what I think I'm supposed to do using self control, I feel like I'm less than.
Mhm.
I feel terrible because I didn't have self control. This thing that people say should be easy. Just have self control and walk away. You know, how many times have I heard that in my life where it's like, but I really wish it was that simple. For me, it's not. It's not that simple. There's so many emotions built up into something is sitting there that I want. And because I am less than, I'm not allowed to have it.
Mhm.
And if if I keep thinking about it that way, then I'll say, well, fuck it. I'm already less than. I might as well eat that brownie. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. And it's actually, as I'm hearing you talk, it makes me think of how, we now it's more, I think because of all the GLP-1s coming out, Ozempic and all that, like this concept of food noise has been, you'll hear that more talked about.
Mm-hmm.
But people like you and we've been struggling with food noise for most of our lives. Um,
Absolutely.
I think now that we're talking about this word, I do wonder how many words we use pertaining to that actually trigger more of the food noise because you're using the word food, self-control, and then you're making it mean all these other things and having to the just the mere act of control to be on top of that restrict, then it can end up having like a cascading like thought process of having it top of mind. Whereas I wonder, maybe because I don't even use the word self control anymore. And to be honest, before we had this conversation today on our YouTube channel, I haven't given it any thought. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't even think I use that term. Like, I can't tell you the last time I've used it especially in regard to my own behavior around
Mm-hmm.
anything,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think it's helpful for me because I've gotten to know myself so well. And I realize that, especially coming from my history of wanting to control, being a perfectionist, and then realize like that just, I mean, I guess at some degree, maybe it was triggering for a while, but I think over time, I just completely let that terminology go because I've replaced it with other things that are much more productive and helpful and yield the results that I'm really looking for. When you're looking for the self control, that means whatever that means, you're going to have maybe six Reese's pieces and leave them in your hand, and that's it. Or you're going to have a handful, or you're going to have two. Like, I don't even know what self control means. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like that is
Yeah.
also pretty relative.
Yeah.
For others, it could be the self control of I'm not even going to have one. So for me, immediately that goes to my inner rebellion, like inner rebel, will kick out and say, how dare you tell me what to do? You ain't going to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then that backfires to not have the control at all. So that's why a long time ago I've made peace with that and I just don't even. It is funny though when I hear other people, use those terms. I'm like, not just self-control, but a couple other things too it is like, huh, I don't even see the world in that view anymore,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And if you break it down to controlling yourself, like self-control is controlling yourself. And it's like, I don't know if I have ever been able to completely control myself. Like, I've gotten to know myself, I've learned to love myself, I've learned to flow with myself. Sometimes I say goofy things like Reese's Pieces and I laugh at myself. But like there's this fluidness to me and who I am that gives me the opportunity to say today I might, tomorrow I might. Um, and just I think that I am too much of a spiritual being in this world for me to ever be able to control myself.
Yeah.
I think that I mean the idea that I can possibly control myself. I mean, if it's in a black and white world, sure, of course I can control whether or not I sit here or I walk to the bathroom or whatever. But my mind, that girl goes off on a tangent sometimes. And I've gotten to know myself and know, like, girl, just because you're thinking things doesn't mean that they're real, or just because, all those things, it's impossible to control myself.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
got deep real fast.
it did, but
Did
I love it.
not
I love it.
deep.
Uh, because then it got me thinking, it's the same thing with perfectionism. Like, perfect. What does that even mean? There isn't even such a thing. So the whole idea of controlling yourself, it's as if you're like a machine or a robot and you're detached. You're AI.
Yeah.
You're not meant to have emotions. You're not meant to have a spirit. You're not meant to have thoughts. You're not meant to have feelings, like even physical sensation feelings. So what does that even mean? Control. Like I'm gonna control myself. I'm gonna stop myself. Maybe that is what people are trying to get to. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
stop myself from ultimately something they know that could be harming themselves,
Mm-hmm.
maybe, or going back to the girl, good boy, bad boy, like falling in line with what is acceptable conditioning for behavior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But for me, I know it's literally impossible. Impossible.
I guess it's so for me, like, oh God, now I'm trying to think about like going through my day. Like, okay, so we're recording this on a Monday, and I'm like, I know there are things that I do on my Monday morning. Like I always prep my food for my lunches all week, and I got to program my email to go out about the live stream workouts, and I take yoga on Monday mornings. And there's a kind of this ebb and flow. Like I don't, as long as I get those things done, I'm not really like, I care about taking care of myself. So I'm not thinking like, oh, I better like fall in line and
Yeah.
get this under control.
Right.
Like, yeah, this is so interesting to have this conversation because I have to like really stretch to go back to that old mentality
Mm-hmm.
that I just have not been living in. So I'm like, but I very much did because I absolutely would use the term self-control when it came to food. But ironically enough, that was a time in my life where I felt like I didn't have control over food. Mm. So there you go.
Yeah. A piece of judgment on myself. I would say that would quickly turn to judgment. I would judge myself really quickly because I even need self-control.
Hmm.
Like, Amanda, why would you even need that? Why would you even need self-control? You should just not want it because it's bad for you, or because you're going to get fat, or you're lazy and you're fat and you're no good and you're stupid. And if you just like, and that was one of the first things that I noticed when I was doing the program, when I did the mentorship, is that I always thought that smart people were fit. Smart people who are smart did the things like, and I'm just stupid. And I'm just not, there's something wrong with me that I can't work out consistently, or feed my body consistently with nutritious foods. And I felt like that was because there was something wrong with me. And even like all these words of self-control or discipline or routines or going to bed at the right time or all these things that people from the outside world said, oh, just do this, it'll fix everything, just made me just feel without a doubt just dumb, because I can't wrap my head around, I couldn't wrap my head around what worked for everybody else was not working for me. And I'm
Mm.
like, finally, when I did the work and I looked at myself and I was like, oh, because I am not everyone else. What works for me works for me. And the word discipline is just a mean thing that I'll say to myself if I'm like, why can't you be more disciplined? Why can't you just, I don't know, self-control?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned discipline because as you're talking, I was actually wanted to bring that word up because that's another one I think in this just like swimming in the same sea of this
Mm-hmm.
topic. And now I can use the word discipline, like I have discipline, but not more of like looking back instead of trying to like, I'm disciplined and I'm going to do, or regimented and do this, 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 and this.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's almost like I can look back on my week, whether that's my workouts or that can certainly be my business. I can see how I am disciplined with certain things. So I've almost had to reclaim the words, some words in my life and reclaim them, to redefine them, to figure out what am I going to make them mean,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and to me, the discipline can also be that slippery slope where it can end up again leading to like if I'm not living up to X, Y, and Z, then there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also thought, and I've been a fitness professional for 31 years now. And even as a fitness professional, in the realm of me being a fit pro, there was always other colleagues and other people around me. Oh, but they're still smarter than me. They still know more than I do. So it's so interesting when you have that certain belief about yourself. It doesn't matter what you surround yourself with. That can always it's only relative, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Thinking, oh yeah, but Dana, you teach classes and you went to school for exercise physiology. Yeah, but when you put yourself in the pool of people, then you can still have those kinds of thoughts about that. Oh no, everyone else is smarter than me. So when I started taking that back of like my own inner wisdom, I mean, so much shifted in my life and my body and my relationship with food and my behaviors, and because I was like really giving myself the credit. And as I've seen you do in this work as well, giving yourself the credit that you are wise. You do know what your body needs. It's just you've been told to shut that off and that other people, other things know more than you do. Oh, this is the right way and this is the wrong way. And and it has been really cool to see you figure out your own, like you call recess, okay?
Yeah.
Our workout.
Yeah.
I love this. I've never had a client call it recess before. And I'm like, yeah, it's like because it is fun. It's in the middle of the afternoon. It's, oh, I guess some people could call it a siesta too. you know?
We are not on siesta when we work out with Dana Lee. We are not on siesta. Yeah.
But yeah, recess. It's like let's pull it back in and figure out what are the terms, what are the words I want to use that help me feel empowered about my situation, help me feel empowered around the Reese's peanut butter cups, the Reese's pieces, or because that used to be my favorite too, by the way. The peanut
Yeah.
butter and chocolate. Oh my God, those are my favorite.
Something about peanut butter, man. Peanut butter
I know.
is it.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about words, how they affect me and how they affect the way I think about things. But yeah, like I changed the workouts on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to recess because that was one of my favorite things in school. Hang out with my friends, recess, lunch. That was fun. I love to play with my friends. I still love to play with my friends. So like, it's like, why not call it recess? Yes, I do. I have recess on my calendar Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And sometimes I have nap time too.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Somebody who needs a nap, there's nothing wrong
Uh-huh.
with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. This is definitely a good conversation. And you guys listening in can certainly share below in the comments, or we'd love to hear from you, what self-control means in your life. Do you use the word? How do you use the word in reference to what? And maybe, and hopefully our conversation today can help you zero in on that. Maybe it's something you're just using, like, oh, this is just part of how I talk. It's part of that. The language is important. The words we use are important.
Mhm.
And it's also the meaning we give the words, right? So, yes, there's a general, you look it up in the dictionary and this is what it means. But there's also some other, sometimes cultural and societal connotations to words. Sometimes something in the family. So it's something I think important to think about. All right. Thanks, Mandy. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.